If you have lots of choices to make, lots of decisions, in Python you can go with the nested else-if construct. But you can see here we only have 3 choices that we're looking at, 4 if you count the one where none of the choices are met. And the indentation starts walking us across the page. So sometimes you might want to make like 50 choices. And if you had to do this, it would really be a mess. So to solve this problem, Python provides the elif construct. And the advantage of this construct is that it saves you all kinds of indentation and looks a whole lot neater. Here's how it works. Elif is simply a combination of else and if. So it's an if that's within an else. Like so. And what it does is, because the initial else is at the same indentation level as the if, that's where the elifs go. So we'll just keep moving these things over. And the performance of this construct is exactly the same. So here's as the nested if-else. So if the first condition is true, then we display the message on line 9. And we skip past all the other elifs and past the else construct at the end to the next statement that's not indented and that's not part of an if, elif, or if clause. Okay, so one thing to point out is the else is optional. The last else is optional. It can appear anywhere in the middle. It has to be at the end. And that the elifs cannot be at the beginning. So an else can't stand by itself, an elif can't stand by itself, and neither one can be at the beginning. The elifs are in the middle or possibly the end if there's no else, and the else can only be at the end. Let's see how it works. We run this and we enter Emily. Then we see the message that's in the if clause for the first if on line 9. That's displayed. None of the other conditions are even tested. We skip past all these elifs and else clauses to the final statement, which is the one that follows the chain of if, elifs, and elses. Boy, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Okay, so suppose it's not Emily. Let's say it's Omar. Okay, so the first condition was false. We skip to the elif. The first one on line 11, that condition was false. We skip to Omar. On line 15, that condition was true. We displayed that message. Skip past the last else and to the statement on line 23, which again follows the if-elif construct and is not part of it. So this is a great construct. It's a whole lot easier to read because the indentation is simpler to deal with, simpler to view. You can have as many elifs as you want. You don't have to be testing the same variables. So I'm testing name against Omar. I could be testing score against 20. It doesn't matter. So that's the nice thing about the elifs. They don't have to test the same variable. And they can go on forever, and it's a whole lot easier to read.